Okay, this is actually going to work this time. I've got this weird little piece of hair here. It's doing something weird. Yeah, so funny thing about the internet here, in this house I think it is, you don't ever know whether the actual router is going to work or what's wrong with the internet. So now I'm using mobile data. I have tried this 3 times, so every time I try to do a live video, it's always very interesting. I don't know whether it's actually going to go live or not. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Belinda and I'm actually a women's health mentor, and I normally do my videos on my group and my page about health. But I'm currently working on a series about our journey around the world to our new current location in Nicaragua, San Juan del Sur, to relocate to Central America for a couple of years, just to, see what's happening in this part of the world and have a bit of an adventure. And boy, did it start as an adventure. So I have actually done 2 videos previous to this, and if you haven't seen them, you're welcome to go and view them. And yeah, say hello as you're joining on in. So we've got 4 people on live currently. I think I saw Danielle, so give us a wave or a hello and let us know where you're all coming in from. Oh, and Christy's here as well. Hi Christy, it says, what do you just say? Hi, I'm actually awake for one of your lives. I should be trying to sleep. Yeah, I know, it's getting quite late there back in Oz. So yeah, let us know where you're joining in as well, because when I'm doing these lives, here it's actually 5:45 in the morning. And let us know what time it is where you are. And who else have I got? I've got Adine on as well. So Danielle, yep, she says hello. Okay, cool. So, and if you are catching the replay, we'll just say replay down below as well, and let us know where you're actually joining us from, because it's always interesting to see, where people are located and where we have friends around the world, so that we can, connect and get to know each other a bit better. Okay, so today we're going to discuss the whole, do you hear that noisy bird? Oh my gosh, it's so noisy. That bird, when I first arrived, was waking me up every morning with that horrible noise, because this is outside my bedroom window, right? And there's my husband's moto. But there it is. Oh yeah, it has a nest up there. Right, now I understand. It has a nest right up there, and it's making this horrid noise. I'm gonna have to find out what bird this is, and maybe relocate its nest for it. I don't know, maybe that's mean. Okay, so the first time I did Leaving Australia and the chaos behind that. If you haven't seen that video, go and watch it. It's hilarious. Well, everyone seems to be laughing at it. I'm laughing at it now, but at the time it totally was not funny. And I'm doing my video on the other side because I've got this new phone and I can't really hold it very well, so I'm having to hold it this way. And then we did Canada. Okay, so part 2 was about our experience in Canada, in the airport there, and now we're on to Mexico, the Mexico leg. So if you haven't seen those 2, go back and watch them. They're pretty good to watch, and then you can get the whole picture of what has been happening over the last couple of days in our journey, I should say. And now my arm's getting tired because this phone's a little bit heavier than my other one. Gee, I'm a bit of a wuss, aren't I? So we got onto the plane in Canada to head to Mexico. It's only a very short flight in terms of things. The biggest flight that we had was from Sydney to Vancouver. This one's only about 5 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. It's very, very short. And we're leaving in the morning in Canada. What time are we leaving? I don't know, it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, say hello if you're popping on in. There's like 9 or 10 people on at the moment, so let us know where you're coming in from. And if you are catching this on the replay, just say replay down below as well. So we're on the plane, we're boarding the plane to Mexico from Vancouver, and that all went very smoothly. We had plenty of time to get to the gate. There was no running this time. There was no madness. There was no being escorted by the air hostess. There was none of that. We'd already been through security, so it was all very, very much more relaxed, which is awesome, which is what I like to see. We get on the plane, it's all fairly smooth, you know. They do all the checks and they leave on time. There was no delays this time. You know, the kids got their food and all that. But this time, they didn't give you the headphones to go with the TV. You had to buy them. It's like, seriously? Luckily, the kids had actually pocketed the last headphones from the Air Canada flight. So this was also an Air Canada flight. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's a short flight. Not really sure. Also, all of the food on this flight you had to purchase, which was fine because we already just, you know, ate in the airport and we had snacks. You know, when you got kids, you bring snacks, whether you think you're going to need them or not. You bring something. So when you get a little kid that's hungry / angry, you can throw food at them, right? Like that's what us mama bears do. We go prepared. Oh, Kim's on. Hello, Kim, and Jackie's on. Just say hello, guys. Oh, and Carly's on as well. Hey, Carly. What does Kim say? Hello, beautiful. Just saying hi, heading to bed. Catch this later. Yeah, fair enough. I realise it's getting a bit late there. It doesn't really work of a night time for me to do it because I'm getting kids to bed and by then I'm stuffed, right? And I'm assuming that you guys will understand that as well. So yeah, no food, no headphones, which is all good because, you know, I have my headphones for my computer or my phone. I had a spare pair of those as well, and hubby had his, so that was 3, and then we had a couple of others that the kids had put in their pocket from the last Air Canada flight, which was great because we needed them. Either that or someone was going to miss out on, you know, viewing, which is not a big deal. I didn't actually view much on that flight. I just rested, which was a good thing, but I'll tell you why when we get to the Mexico part, because that was a different story. So yeah, that flight went very smoothly. There was no mask. The mask Nazi. So on the first Air Canada flight, because we were flying to Canada, it was very, you must have your mask up and you must have it on when you're sleeping. You can't have it down at all, you know, over your nose or whatever, because we were flying to Canada and that's the rules of Canada. Whereas the rules in Mexico are a bit different, and that's how the airlines decide their rules, right, is based on the country that they're flying to. That's the rules that they enforce. Which makes total sense now that you think about it. But you think it's the airline's rules, but it's not. It's actually the country that they're flying to. So it was a bit more relaxed on that flight, you know, which is really, really good. And here comes a kid already. And so that went very smoothly. We're actually arriving into Mexico City at 11:45 at night time. Yeah, middle of the night is when we arrive. It's only a 5-hour flight, so there's a 2 or 3 hour time difference between there and Canada, but it works out to be like, you know, 11:45 at night time. And you would think the airport is fairly quiet. I think like 3 flights into that airport, because there's several airports in Mexico City. Yeah, I haven't got it the right way, so yeah. You want to say good morning? You want to pop your head in? Say something.
Good morning.
Okay. So there's actually 3 airports, 2 or 3, I can't remember, airports in Mexico City, and I think we're flying into Terminal 2, and that's where we're actually leaving from as well for the next flight, so we don't have to change airports, which is awesome. Arriving into Mexico is like really simple. Like you get off the flight, you walk to collect your bag, you get your passport stamped from the lady there at midnight, you collect your bags. There's no real customs to go through. There's a what do they call it, a voluntary declaration where you can volunteer to declare something if you have something that you're bringing into Mexico that they don't like. but it's just like you walk on in, no problem. So we just walked on in, sort of, because we had like a lot of luggage and we had to find some trolleys to put some stuff on. And so then you get to the door where you walk out to the public and you're not allowed to take those trolleys from there, right? Like, okay, fine. So we unload our million bags, because that's not usually how we travel, but because we are coming to, you know, rent a place and live life, we still need the normal things, and the kids things that they love, and books for them to read, and homeschooling supplies, and kitchen implements, and whatever, because we're not on a, you know, a traveling vacation. We are actually, you know, coming to live places long term. Whether we buy or rent, I don't know, but you know, the house that we're living in now, we've got a 6-month rental on, so you need the daily household things. And some of those things you probably can get here, but some of them it's pretty hard to. Can you not bump me? Okay, thank you. Just stand off me. Yes, so, you know, some things we're going to need. But we'll do all of that in a future video, what we can get here, what we can't get here, you know, food-wise, household-wise, all that sort of stuff. So I will do videos on that if there's interest on that. If you're interested to know, then just say interested down below. And then I will, you know, put that on my little list here of future videos that I plan to do. So arriving in Mexico was very simple, customs-wise and airport-wise. And then you walk through some glass doors, and that's where, you know, all the family members are supposed to wait, or your driver's supposed to wait. But obviously we didn't have anyone meeting us because we were having a connecting flight in like 14 hours. So we weren't really planning on leaving the airport. And I looked up the airport, and it said that there were airport lounges that you could pay, you know, $20 US to just go and hang out in, watch TV, you know, eat, whatever. And that was actually our plan. So we had our pile of suitcases. Now you may have seen that big pile in Mexico City where everyone's looking very tired. It's down in one of the posts I did a couple of weeks ago. If not, I can always drop it in the link down below here. So the kids were all sitting on the pile of bags looking very disheveled. It's, you know, midnight. There's that noisy bird again. And then we're sitting there with our bags wondering what the heck we're going to do, because our flight is not for another 14 hours. And so we are sitting in the middle of Mexico City, and we're essentially sitting in the public area where anybody can come in. And there's just people everywhere. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. It's middle of the night and there's just people everywhere. Which shouldn't surprise me because, you know, that's... Mexico City never sleeps. It's a city that never sleeps, right? So while... Oh, she wants to show you her lovely pictures here. Yes, you've got a lovely fairy that you've done the mosaic on. Very nice, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. Thanks, Phoebe. Something on your face. Yes, so I'm sitting there with the bags, and husband, David, he goes and walks around the airport to find out what we're going to do and where we're going to set up. We decide that we're just going to move our bags down closer to the elevator because that's where we're going to need to move our luggage to get on our next flight. So we found the desk where we're going to have to check in our luggage, and he had to move all the bags all the way down there. We couldn't do it all at once because there was so many of them. And and because we're in Mexico City, we don't want to leave bags alone, right? So we have to split up into 2 groups. And, you know, so David takes some bags down with my son Riley, and Riley had to go and wait, you know, it would have been like 100 meters or so, at another part in the airport where there's actually chairs, and he just waited there, and David just went back and forth, moving these bags down. I was kind of like stacking them, so you know, you have a big suitcase and then I put a carry bag on top of it, and then I did that with 2 suitcases, so hopefully he could take 2 down with him. This is when we kind of discovered that some of the luggage was actually damaged, which doesn't surprise me because, you know, I think the baggage handlers, maybe they are in a rush or maybe they just don't really care, but they, you know, they're really rough with the bags. One of them had completely, like, self-imploded. It was, like, not a solid bag anymore. It was, like, you know, the plastic inside had, like, shattered. It was very, very interesting. We also had a large box with, like, my kitchen machine, my daughter's sewing machine, and the printer, because we homeschool, we use a printer regularly, and I was pretty determined to bring that. And that box had wheels on it, so I thought that would be really easy. We'll just pile some bags on it and roll it down. Lo and behold, I load it up and it's not rolling, and I'm like, why isn't this not rolling? And it's because 3 of the wheels are now missing. So if you're traveling with a large box that has wheels, take the wheels off, put them in your handbag, and then pop them back in at the other end, because they probably won't be there when you get there. So lesson learned then. Oh, I've got a few other people on, so just say hello and let us know where you're coming in from. I've got Diane and Dad. Dad's on. Say hello, Dad. And Cara. Do you want to say hello to Grandpa? Grandpa's here.
Hello, Grandpa.
Yeah. So we're, you know, organising these bags, and hopefully we get to the end where I can get, you know, each of the 3 little girls to wheel a bag down, and myself and whatever. So we move at literally just 100 meters. My husband's like sweating because he's been running back and forth. He's just amazing. Like, I couldn't ask for a better life partner. I really couldn't. I'm truly blessed to have him, and he's just so supportive of everything that we do. And it's always, you know, a joint decision. It's never one or the other. It's just something we seem to be able to, you know, connect and decide what we're going to do together very easily, which not everybody has. And that's, you know, I'm just so blessed, and I realize that now after, you know, 17, 18 years of marriage. So anyway, getting a bit emotional here now. So yeah, we finally get down to the elevators to take us up to the next level. I can't do that because my screen's the wrong thing. Up to the next level so that we can go and book in our bags for the next flight. And so we're trying to work out, well, what are we going to do for the next, you know, by now it's like 13 hours until our next flight. And so David goes and walks around looking for the lounges. There was like supposed to be like 3 lounges. We now found out that they were in the other airport. So we're like, you know, we were thinking we could just go get food and stay in one of these lounges, just pay $20 to enter. It'll be, you know, a bit safer. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's on the other side after you check in to your flight. So, you know, maybe we just can't go until then. Anyway, so he looks to see if there's accommodation, you know, an airport hotel, and there is, but it's full. So we're like, okay, great, we suck it up and sleep in another airport. But there's a big but there. These are long metal chairs. There's no cushions on them. It's not comfortable. It's not supposed to be comfortable. This is the public area of the airport. So, you know, I set the 4 kids up with their sleeping. So they have their lambskins and their blankets. So they're actually quite comfortable and warm. And no problem at all. All 4 of them had a sleep. And that was pretty good because, like, you know, we're sitting there with all the other people, and some of them are sleeping as well. And we knew this because I looked it up. You know, there's nowhere really to sleep in Mexico airport. It's, you know, a public area. It's probably not exactly safe. So, you know, one of us has to be awake, and that's totally fine. But no adults are actually allowed to have a sleep. The police actually come around and wake you up if you are sleeping. And so this poor fellow who was lying on the ground next to us, you know, he was sleeping for a long time while the kids were sleeping. And then this policeman came around and woke him up. And I was like, oh, that's very mean. And so I started chatting to him. You know, he was just waiting there for his friends, essentially. So anyway, I'm sitting there, and David, like, has a lie down on my lap, and he says, I'll probably, you know, see if I can catch a few Z's. Anyway, It lasted about 2 minutes, and before the policeman came over and said, "You must wake up," and started poking him. So he didn't get any sleep. So I'm glad, you know, referring back to our other story. Oh, here's another one. Say hello.
Hello.
But if you're going to be silly, you'll have to leave. So where was I? Yeah, they woke David up. So that's why I'm glad that I actually had a rest on the Mexico flight, and didn't watch TV, and because, you know, I wasn't able to in Mexico airport. Anyway, that time actually went very fast as well. Kids slept for most of it, and we actually had to wake them up to go upstairs to the next desk to check in our luggage. But while that was all on, I walked up and to the next airline, and I asked them, you know, what about the excess baggage? And you can check your excess baggage in online. And I thought, oh, that's great, I'll just do that. No problem, we'll do it online, pay for it, it'll be all done, we won't have to worry about it. So I went up to the desk upstairs and I was asking them, because they have this app and it tells you how many bags. And because we've got 6 people, you know, some of the luggage is actually included. So I wanted to make sure that I was using the app correctly and that I was checking in all of the bags and I was paying for all of the excess bags. And the number didn't include our actual included luggage, right? No, don't walk on that. No, I know, you can walk around the bottom and collect the goggles. She's got goggles here that oh no, better spin this around, that are sitting on the edge of the pool there, and she's trying to walk along this uneven, it is slanted, so, you know, she's trying to walk along that, and I said, no, don't do that, there's rocks on the other side. Yes, cheeky monkeys. Whoa, now, uh-oh, what have I done? Yeah, the flowers behind me are actually bougainvilleas, and that's such a beautiful colour, isn't it? That purpley colour up there. And then we've got our traditional pink one that we see in Australia a lot. Yeah, so that was going. Now I've got low battery mode, so I might have to wrap this up quicker than I hoped. Maybe I'll split it up. If it runs out, that's why, is my battery just died. So if I leave this in the middle of a sentence, that is why. Because this does take a lot of battery power to go live. And I didn't charge it when I went to bed last night. Aren't I naughty? You know, don't you hate it when you forget to do that and it's like 0 battery when you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, so annoying. Anyway, so I go up and I check that all in. Then we decide, okay, well, it's almost 3 hours before our flight. We're going to move all this luggage up. And there's these fellows who walk around with these pig trolleys, and we're like, we're just going to pay them to take the luggage up. There's like a crap load of luggage. You know, so they filled their trolleys. We needed 3 of them to fill the trolleys, take the luggage upstairs to the next airline. And David basically had it dumped right in front of the desks. We are first, damn it. Oh dear, bless me. So, you know, he's waiting up there with the luggage because we can't split up. And we've got 4 sleeping children, so I can't leave them. So funny. So he's sitting up there for half an hour, 45 minutes by himself, and I'm sitting down here with all the kids. And he's like, so the kids waking up yet? And I'm like, nah, they're not. Well, there's some movement, but not a lot of movement.
Was I moving?
No, you weren't moving. I think it was Sky who was moving.
Sky rolls over in his sleep.
Yeah, Sky rolls over in his sleep. And I thought she'd be waking up, but no. So I end up having to wake up the kids and tell them to pick up their backpacks because the man with the luggage didn't have enough room to fit all of the luggage. We still had our carry-on, and go upstairs. So they're all sleepily walking upstairs and packing up their stuff. And then we're not first in line then, because David's like probably getting grumpy. I don't know. He'll comment on this later. I'm sure. Probably getting grumpy. Where are these people? I'm first in line. And he had to move the bags because he was no longer first in line. While I brought the kids up. And I'm like, oh, you could have just left the bags there. They wouldn't have cared, surely. Anywho, so we eventually make it to the front of the line and we drag all our bags up again because there's like 14 of them. Oh, we did a big reshuffle. While we were downstairs, we reshuffled all of our bags because I figured I was going to check on some more luggage so that they wouldn't be too heavy, because last time, like I said, bathroom scales aren't very accurate, and we got charged for overweight luggage. So I rejigged all of this luggage and made it so it wasn't. You know, I had to take about 1 kilo or 1.5 kilos out of each. So that's why I went up early to go and weigh it at the check-in desk when no one was there, to make sure that it was all fine. So I rejigged it so we'd check in a few more bags and used one of our expandable, or two of our expandable carry-on luggage, and just jam some more stuff in there. And so we get up to the desk and we show her the ticket, and we show her that we've paid for our excess baggage and all of that. And we start checking it all in, and she goes, "Oh no, you're missing 6. And I'm like, "Well, isn't that interesting? Because there's 6 of us." And I thought that that was the ones that were included, because I have already been up here to speak to a lady from this company to check that I was using the app correctly. And she's like, no, you're missing 6. You've got to pay for 6 more. And I'm like, are you serious? Because, like, I checked, and I'm looking around for this lady, trying to find her, and she wasn't there. Anywho, now they want to charge you not the online price, because it's cheaper to check stuff in online. And that's what we wanted to do with Air Canada, but weren't allowed to. But this one, I thought, no, I'm going to nail it. We're going to get this right. I'm going to check everything in online, so it's like half the price. And now they don't want to charge you the online price. And I said, no, I checked with your colleague so that we wouldn't get charged at the counter price. And I checked to make sure that we had all of our bags on this list. I showed her. She said that was fine. Well, it's not. And so now you're going to have to pay this price. And I'm like, is there a way around that? And she said, yes, you can leave the line, go back into the app, pay for 6 more, and then come back. And I'm like, okay, great. So that actually worked in our favor, because I'll tell you why. So you're allowed to, there's one price for 1 extra bag per person, and then there's another tier, which is more expensive, when you're paying for 2 extra bags per people. Okay, but when you go back into the app, it just says, you know, it gives you the 1 bag price, because I'd already paid for the other one and I was re-entering the app. So when it just gave us the first extra bag price instead of the second one. So that actually worked in our favour. So then I walked up and I just showed her on my phone the payment details and how it said 6. And then she just ticked it off, and because our bags were already weighed and already through, and off she went. So she gave us the tickets. She said, these are the tickets for your bag. Hello, Melissa and Jennifer and Sandy. Hello. So say hello and let us know where you're coming in from. Okay, girls. You don't... Yeah. Just there. See? Okay. So that was the next drama. When you have excess bags, and we've never really done the excess bag thing. When we went around the world, we literally just had our backpack, and that was it. It was 12 kilos, 10 to 12 kilos. It wasn't even 12 kilos. And that's what we traveled with for 9 months. 8 months. I can't remember now. Anywho, we didn't do the excess bag, so this was a completely new experience for all of us. But anyway, it's not something I wish to do very regularly. Yes, I mean, you know, then we finally get to the boarding side of the airport, and still could not find those lounges that we were told. So yeah, we just had to suck it up and sleep in the airport again. But that's life, right? And then we're into the actual airport side of things, where you line up for your flight. Everything's all in Spanish, which is perfectly fine. Hubby and I speak enough to get ourselves in trouble. And so we buy some food for the kids, and we actually had, in the actual airport, where everyone is, the public part, we actually did have food there as well. David went off and got some little chicken tacos and beef tacos and all of that stuff. So yeah, it was very good there as well. Delicious, really. So then we get to the other part of the airport. When we have food there, we use the toilets, you know, do all that stuff before your flight. It's not very long till our flight. It wasn't like a couple of hours. It was very short. Well, it seemed very short to me. Am I forgetting anything here? Yeah, then they come to, we have to board our flight an hour before, which is interesting. So we're at the gate an hour before. And then one other lady there, she's like, I think you're on this flight too with me to San Jose. I'm like, yeah, I think so. Is the company Avianca? Yes, it's Avianca. I think the gate has changed. I'm like, oh, how annoying. So we see all these other people lining up, who were lined up with us buying, getting our boarding passes, and they're at a completely different gate. I'm like, oh, great. So we have to line up again and be right at the end, and it's just, but anyway, that part of the airport was so busy it wasn't funny. Like, there's so many flights leaving Mexico City, and it's such a small area where they have that. I don't think I've been in that part of Mexico City airport before. I think when we flew in another time, we must have been in the other airport because it was completely different. And I'm told, and I probably believe this, told the other airport is nicer. So, I don't know. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. We got on the flight, and this one is, all in Spanish. Were there flights on the Avianca? Were there TVs on the Avianca flight?
Yeah.
I don't think there were. No, there wasn't. No, so this is just like a basic budget airline. And it's like a 2 hour and 30-minute flight. So it's not very long. And it, went very quickly. They just bring around prepackaged food as well. So I think the food was included on this one. But it was very basic, just sandwiches and chips and water or whatever. Which is perfectly fine. It was quite a cheap flight, and we kind of expected that. Dear me. Yeah, I really need to get this phone sorted so I can actually use it for lives properly. Yeah, so that was perfectly fine, and I'm going to drop it again. I need my pop sock on the back of this one. I don't have it. I have that's the way to hold it when I do a live. But anyway, I tried to look for one in town here, but they don't have that. Anywho, I'm going to walk around because I'm sick of sitting down. Yeah, so we, arrive in San Jose, and there's a lot of people arriving all at once. So it's, quite a busy airport. And, we have to get through customs, and we're in the long line. So it's kind of like when you arrive in most places. If you're a national, you go to where the nationals go, and it's quite a short line, So when we arrive home in Australia, it's quite quick. And then you see everyone else, all the foreigners coming in, and they have to line up all together. So it's kind of like that. The nationals had the short line and we had the long line. But that's okay. That's just how it is. The kids are tired and grumpy by now, and it's, stinking hot outside. We're in Central America now, so it's humid and tropical sort of weather. So yeah, we collect all of our bags. And when we're collecting them, they quite often have these like porter type people who you pay a small bit of money to, and they help you carry your bags. Absolutely love that. when you have so many, it's insane. So yeah, we pay one of those dudes. I have a trolley. Riley has a trolley. David has a trolley, and this dude has a trolley. So, we're all doing that. We take it to get our bags scanned, because in Mexico we didn't scan them. They didn't do anything like that. You just pick up your bags and go. That's done. But here we're back to, normal airport standards where you got to go and scan everything. So we got to pile all our bags off and scan it. In one of the bags I had apples, the snack bag. She's like, oh, you can't bring in apples. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Just throw them in the bin. Don't care. I think that was the only drama there, really. We get a taxi to our accommodation, a large taxi. So they do actually have like these huge vans that you can pile all of your stuff into. They don't really have them in Australia, really, that I've seen. Maybe I could be totally wrong there because I haven't had to notice that before. But yeah, that was very simple and easy. It's hot and sweaty. The kids are getting grumpy. Where are we going? Where are we going? Why? And all these questions, because they just don't know what to expect. And that's totally normal, but it's a little bit, when everyone's hot and tired, I'm like, oh my gosh, just go with the flow. We're just going to go with the flow, everybody. I can't answer your questions because I don't know. So yeah, but anyway, we make it to our accommodation. in San Jose, which seems like a lovely place to stay. It's, you know, has a bedroom with enough beds for all of us. It's clean. It has a shop next door, so we just go and buy some, you know, breakfast for the kids and some milk and something for dinner. I think we ordered pizza for dinner. David did an Uber Eats thing, but it wasn't Uber. It was something else.
We ordered pizza for dinner.
Yes, we ordered pizza for dinner, just something quick and easy, something that we knew the kids would eat, and had it delivered. It was actually quite expensive. I think it was like 50 US dollars. Like, this is not cheap pizza. Anywho, and to have it delivered was the expensive part, I believe. But that's okay. We just had to do it. Oh yeah, that's right. David's like the suicide shower. Don't forget it. So I don't know if many of you have been to South or Central America, but they have these shower units in South and Central America. So, you know, we're hot and sweaty. We've been traveling for a long time. This is the first shower that we're having since we left Australia a couple of days ago. Like, I'm not even joking. We're all stinky and sweaty and haven't changed. And, you know, I made the girls change their clothes, and we all changed our clothes in Canada, but we hadn't actually had a shower. So we're like, oh yeah, let's go have a shower. And I said, Dave, you want to come in here? And, you know, walk into the bathroom and said, yep, remember those showers that we had in South America? Welcome to the suicide showers. No. And why they nicknamed that is because they are a shower head, right? And because they like to have hot water occasionally, or Westerners like to have hot water, they put an element in the head and then they run electricity along the neck of the shower. Very, very dodgy looking wire, because, you know, water and electricity don't mix, right? And so that's how they heat the shower. So when you turn on the hot water, it turns on the element with the electricity and heats your water for you. Yay! And we've had a few of those where you like get a little bit of a it's like, okay, yep, I'm just going with a cold shower right now. Cold shower it is. It's hot and sweaty. I'm going with a cold shower. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So let us know if you've experienced that before. Not all of them zap you, and sometimes you're happy to risk it if you're in a cold area, because not all areas in South and Central America are hot, right? So you do want to have a, you know, sometimes when it's cold, you don't actually want to have a hot shower. So yeah, that was fun. The kids had never experienced that before. The other thing that, you know, is probably different there, and you have to retrain yourself, is you don't actually flush the toilet paper everywhere you go. I know, gross, right? But they don't actually have a proper septic system or a proper town sewer system. So if you flush the toilet paper, you're going to clog up their system, and it's going to cost them a lot of money in plumbers to fix and unclog the toilet system that you blocked up, essentially. So, you know, they have a bin there to put the toilet paper in. And I'm like, kids, okay, welcome to South and Central America. Welcome to Central America. This is what you need to do when you go to the toilet, okay? Don't flush the toilet paper. Put it in the bin next to the toilet. So, that's a new experience for them as well. Now, not everywhere is like that. Like, we're in a very, I'll show you. We're in a very, you know, Western style home. Now, and they actually have I believe they have a septic system here. But if you go out to, you know, a cafe or something and you use their toilet, just be very mindful whether you want to flush that paper or not, because sometimes they don't even have the suck to take anything down. It's just like a little dribble, and you're like, yeah, I don't think we'll be adding toilet paper to this one. So yeah, that's not really how I wanted to end this video, is on a, you know, toilet talk topic. But anyway, that's a little bit of knowledge for you if you ever wish to travel in this part of the world. But yeah, they just don't have the water flow or the sewer system set up, or even a septic system, depending on where you are. So you just have to be very mindful of that. And, you know, yeah, just realize that things aren't always the same everywhere. But anyway, that is the getting to Costa Rica part of this video.
Porridge for breakfast.
Yes, we've got porridge for breakfast, that's right. So the next one is going to be leaving Costa Rica and coming to Nicaragua. So when I get a moment early in the morning here, so it'll be late at night for you guys. Back in Oz, if you are in Oz. Not everyone is probably in Oz. I don't know if I've got any of my international friends here. If you are here, just say hello. Oh, Jennifer's not in Australia. She's over in Ireland. Yeah, but if you are, who else? Jody's here. She's not in Oz either. So just say hello and let us know where you're coming in from. If you're catching this on the replay, just say replay. If you have any questions or are curious about something here or something I've spoken about, please ask. I'm more than happy to either answer those questions or do a future video on them if they're a good topic and few people are interested in it. So just let us know, and yeah, you have a great day and, well, great sleep for most of you. And if you are on this side of the world, have a great day. And I'll talk to you all very soon. Okay.